Question. Please comment on what the West has done to investigate the causes of the explosions on the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines on September 26, 2022. What conclusions has the Russian side drawn in this context? MV Zakharova. The explosions on the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines are an egregious act of international terrorism that falls under a number of international treaties establishing obligations to prevent such acts, suppress them, investigate their commission, hold those responsible accountable, and cooperate with other states to achieve these goals. Unfortunately, we see that these obligations are not being fulfilled, despite repeated calls from the Russian Federation. Switzerland, where the operator of the pipelines is registered, did not even attempt to investigate this terrorist attack. The coastal states of Denmark and Sweden, in whose exclusive economic zones the explosions were recorded, swiftly wound down their investigations without publishing any results. According to their statements, the results of their investigations were passed on to Germany. Germany, where both pipelines terminate, has yet to inform the international community of any positive outcomes from its investigation. Moreover, arrest warrants recently issued by Berlin, allegedly for suspects, have not been executed. As a result, at least one suspect, who was reportedly in Poland, managed to flee to Ukraine, according to the Polish prosecutor's office. At the same time, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk brazenly declares that all those concerned about the investigation's progress should remain silent. All of this points to one conclusion. The West is not interested in conducting an effective investigation into the terrorist attack, despite the enormous damage the explosions caused to the European economy and environment. The Russian Federation has repeatedly sent legal assistance requests to the aforementioned countries, demanding cooperation in our own investigation of the terrorist attack. All of these requests were rejected under fabricated pretexts or without any explanation at all. This behavior clearly contradicts the international legal obligations of these states. In line with this unconstructive stance is the refusal of Western countries to support the draft resolution presented by Russia in March 2023 to the UN Security Council, which called for an independent international investigation under the auspices of the United Nations. Due to the persistent opposition from Washington and its satellites, our much-needed initiative failed to gather the required 9 votes in favor. Then, in October 2023, the Americans and their allies shamelessly torpedoed the Russian draft statement of the UN Security Council President on this issue. In response, the Russian Federation has officially filed pre-litigation claims against Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and Switzerland under the 1997 International Convention for the Suppression of Terrorist Bombings and the 1999 International Convention for the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism. The case is now in the pre-litigation stage of dispute resolution, an obligatory step outlined by these conventions. If the issue is not resolved at this stage, the Russian Federation intends to take the matter to court by appealing to the International Court of Justice, citing violations of their conventional obligations by the aforementioned states. Other countries that may be connected to the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines are also under scrutiny. The West's attempts to sweep the matter under the rug will not succeed. On the contrary, such actions only further confirm the involvement of Western countries in this crime. By proclaiming themselves champions of international law, they are instead engaging in the concealment of evidence and shielding the true perpetrators. Russia is firmly determined to establish and hold accountable all those responsible for the execution, organization, and support of this terrorist act. International justice is not the exclusive domain of the West. It must and will work in the interests of the entire world, particularly in the fight against international terrorism.